Of course. Okay, there we go. All right. But one thing we know how to do is fix it. That's what we don't do, right?
Yeah.
Fix it.
Fix it. No whining. So you're gonna come behind it and start pulling cards and
Watching
things.
this one, that island.
How is it going?
Same bullshit they on this whole.
Oh, were the residents notified? How many top holes do you guys have?
All right.
And then the veterans,
Hey, we only.
the parcels for veterans.
Oh, gonna bring Stella and all kind of thing. Nobody said these man don't tell me they're running behind, but I ain't want to kind of overreach for the time that we could have, but
We have another engagement.
yeah, but the only thing I got Jaeger, and me are not Red Bull. Remember we do them Jaeger bomb over there, but DV them years ago. So that's you right there, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Shut the Jaeger.
He gotta speak after this. Can't be, Jaeger.
You see this next song, this song that's playing right now? This song is the opposite of the individual that's in the room with me right now. Ain't no shame wrong here. Kevin and Richard done set the tone from when I first reached back 4 weeks ago. Hold on, this is what we wanted to do. It's been a long time. And before you say anything, let me deal with this today. U.S. Virgin Islands, listening audience. Right now, I got an individual in the studio with me that did not come from a silver spoon, gold spoon. I won't even say a plastic spoon. We're talking a coconut spoon. And if you ever eat the jelly out of coconut, you know what kind of spoon I'm talking about. We're speaking about an individual in this studio right now that took the opportunities that were presented to them at every step of their career and made that Rose. And I ain't talking about Rose, the one that Rick Ross said. No. We talking about Rose Dan Perrier. What we have and who we have in this studio exemplifies what you call about dedication, inspiration, and admiration here in this territory. I think I'm a person who have very thick skin. But you see this person around here? When it comes to wood, sticks, and stones, sometimes I wonder if this man bulletproof. I have been around this individual and seen this individual for many, many moves in his career. From when I ride in my bike to him by Pal, as a young boy up in when before he called Pal, to when I walk in the Department of Labor, to even they created a group that has yet to be replicated, duplicated, simulated. You can't do it. Because they know their generation was now. St. Croix, St. Thomas, Tola, St. John. I want y'all to give a listening ear to the Honorable Albert Two Toms Brian. Go for your saying!
I love that. Two Toms, man. Good afternoon, Virgin Islands. Good afternoon, Scabby, man. It's good to be in the studio today. Yeah, I was wanting to be governor, but I always wanted to be a DJ, like, and wear cool glasses, and I can't cuss on the radio.
Yeah, but you know one thing about you, right? A lot of people, you changed politics here in the territory into the form of, I don't want to say rock star, but you made it cool to be the governor of the Virgin Islands.
Well, thank you. That's a good compliment. Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because I always feel like I just want to win. So
You is
be
wanna
cool.
win,
I mean,
yeah.
like, black people is the coolest people on earth. It's like everybody want to be like us. And then being a Virgin Islander, growing up here, everybody want to be cool. And in doing it, I'm always conscious of the fact that I want every Virgin Islands kid to see their self in an infinite possibility of realms. Like ain't nothing you can do.
Definitely.
And so part of my delivery is always relating back to them and speaking. And you know, some of my senior folks, my elders, they get mad at me because it's like, you don't talking colloquial when you're talking to people. I say, yeah, you gotta speak to people like they understand. You gotta speak properly to let young people know. You could do it all, you know. I was so impressed. I was with a group of these intelligent females the other day, and they were just having this deep discussion. And then Pumpa San come on, and all them start getting and bend right over. You know, you don't have to be one way. You could be live in the party and you could still be hardworking and intelligent when you can. You know, we like to say this thing, keep it real.
Yes.
But really, you know, you have to be. I see. You know who's my new way to say. I could say rockstar crush. This T-Ran. I had to follow him on Instagram. This dude here. I love this dude. This dude. He just say he's a Pisces like me. And one of the things he says, you know, people, and you just talk about it. He said, I had to go to people and they'll be like, hey man, how you doing? And they'll be like, you could talk to me?
Yes.
You could talk to me after what you said to me? What? Why you say? You told me to eat crap and die.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, yeah, but that was last week. You tell me you still talking about that?
You gotta like roll off our back.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't really keep people on my mind like that. I mean, I got a couple of people I got in a book buried with some Obia water in it. But
you know they're gonna clip that, right?
Yeah. I got an Obia book and some Jubi doll. Trust you, boy. My grandmother from Haiti. I got some Obia for some people, yeah? But most people, I let them out of the Obia box. I don't keep them in there because that's baggage for me. But while and I always, you know, every time I speak, I always want to spread love because I always want to remind people that 99% of us here in the Virgin Islands that run for the office run because we love the Virgin Islands.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And you know, I like to talk to you because you know I always give me gems that I could be able to fall back on and keep the conversation going. When you talk about especially how you don't carry yourself, how you don't move, you know, a lot of TikTok, a lot of memes, a lot of stuff have came out for the things that you say that the average Virgin Islanders just say every day. But what makes it so stand out to say is it coming from the governor, right? And with me and how I move, you know, when I get myself dressed and I look and I say how I going to show up for you today, you know what I'm saying? Because it's you know. And I said, nah, I gotta be myself. Right? Because I want to be able to show people that moves like me, talk like me, walk like me, that, you know, being involved in politics is something that is only going to help us to be able to navigate and develop this place in a much better light.
Especially now, you know, I everywhere I go, I speak to young people, I say, you know, you got people like me, I'm almost 60, deciding what the next 50 years of the Virgin Islands going to look like. Because we got this massive recovery. So all these things that we doing, you know, all the designs that are going in, like we got old people doing it, no offense to my staff, but you building buildings and everybody want to stay home and work on their phone. So who going to be in them building? It's like, you know, AI is a part of the new generation. They're not going to remember a time when there was no AI.
Yes.
And so you working on things yourself where a high school student could do what you were doing in a week in 5 seconds.
I remember that, and you know, as you said that, right? Because I practice two things, and this is one of the things that come in it. And we right now, you built generation now almost 15, 20 years ago. You were part of that with you, Adrian, Kevin. That was a super movement. And it never happened again, right? Unfortunately, it never happened again. I was privy to be around you guys, and y'all, even though I was generation next, y'all still pull me in to the point where now it's generation now. I had Terrell Alexander in here for the election board, and we were talking about the numbers. Yeah, Terrell is an awesome young dude. You know, I remember him from working in Kmart with my mother, when my mother was doing part-time, right? So I know Terrell for many years. And we were talking about the numbers as far as the voters and stuff like that in the territory. Now, I'm a person just like you, just you can't do it because you're the governor now. But I don't pull up to every spot that got people, especially early in the morning. That's where the old people gotta eat the breakfast. 2 shaka mamawana, 2 bit low bulcha. You know what I'm saying? Before 10:30. Either way, I walk away. And I running into a lot of these 70 plus adults that saying they no longer voting.
Wow.
I mean, I ain't lying to you. I ain't lying to you. A lot of them. Right? Now we look at the discrepancy in the voting public in the younger demographic. So now if the older ones is the higher voting black, and then the younger ones them now said they don't want to get involved. Right? We got election coming up right now. I know a lot of people think you ain't got nothing else to do and you done and all of that. I said the man's still young.
Yeah.
He still gotta make money to
I
eat.
could run again in 4 years, you know. Don't count me out. Don't count me out.
Wait.
Campaign started the day after the election. I think you joke, eh?
You know, we ain't joking.
And you thought he was done.
No, so I like that. So I had a thing that came to me, right? As far as how we could be able to get more people involved in the process, like myself, right? Tell me if it makes sense. We talk about all these projects that's going on, infrastructure, all building and stuff like that. We throw around a lot of money and big billions, right? But Gov, I ain't seen it.
You know, because it's just like me. I can bring it back right to this conversation, right? My staff that come always tell me, you know, you to make governing look easy. Every time we see you smiling, you're doing, you never run for anything before, come on the scene, blow out everybody, one shot.
It done.
Take it out, right? I said, you know what people will see? The 8 years that I've been governor don't show the 17 years I'm working in generation now. And you know, so people only seeing this. They only seen when the iceberg essentially emerged from the water. But the reason why people are getting frustrated, let me tell you something. No administration could change your life. None. Only you could change your life. So when we in the Virgin Islands, we have an over-dependence on the government to change your life. Because we could give out free tuition, but if you don't go to college, how you get a degree? We could give out free training, but if you don't do that, how you be a plumber? We giving out free slice program, giving people 100, 200,000 on a house, but if you don't apply, how you gonna get? You know, if we got a lot of opportunity, but if you don't apply for any of the jobs, if you don't start an apprenticeship, if you don't start a business, how you gonna get it, you know? You know, it's a distraction to you. I wonder sometimes, you ever think, Greg, that the people on the radio complaining have been on the radio complaining for the last 20 years? Yes. Like, even the politicians that are running now, don't allow them to complain to you. If you've been in this, imagine you have people running for governor who've been in politics for 8, 10, 12 years, saying all of a sudden they have come up with a bright idea of how we're going to fix the territory. Hey, come on. So what you were saying, you were holding back your information until you became governor, and if you don't become governor, you're not going to give them your information. We've been giving information to this community generation now, whether it's a report card or ideas or so, from 2002. That's 24 years of giving. Yes. Right? So don't drink the Kool-Aid what these people telling you now. It's like, if you really want, tell me your ideas now. The biggest lie is people keep, you know, and I had to do it myself because I am an A student, and when I say that, I don't want B, I don't want A minus, I want A. I want to be the best at my job. I want to be the best. And when you ain't say, 8-1? No. when people say, you know, oh, the governor ain't doing nothing, sometimes when I get despondent, then I start to drive around, and it'll be like, good God, you know, you have to be able to understand. Crime is perpetual. Infrastructure problems, perpetual. And when I say that, they're never going away. It's 3 islands, 2 power plants, 3 hospitals, thousands of roads, miles of road, thousands of miles of sewer, electrical, something 6,000 employees in the central government, 40,000 people employed, 13,000 kids in school. Something will be wrong every day. There will always be something wrong every day. But the thing you have to ask yourself, for those 5 things that you complain about, there are thousands of things that went right today.
I don't see it.
And so it is like when you look at it, you have to realize, when I look back, when we took office, right? It didn't have stoplights. It didn't have street signs. Okay? People will forget where.
They don't forget.
Yeah, you couldn't retire because the retirement system was broke. If the unemployment rate was 10%, it's 4% now. I mean, you know, we didn't know where we were going. The government was dead broke. They told us we were going to be broke in 3 months. I mean, we have come, who would have thought in the Virgin Islands, we were handing out checks after COVID to everybody. Premium paid 2,000, Social Security, we had a lottery for 100,000, grants to businesses for 20,000 a piece. We paid back the 8%. We went. The Virgin Islands salaries, average government salary gone from 46 to 56,000. It's probably 58 now because we just getting a raise again.
Okay.
The average age of the employees went down 10 years to 42 from like 52, 56. So that means we were employing young people. We get the same, the teacher salary gone from like 40 to like over 50 now starting. We got principals making over $100,000 a year. The minimum wage going up to $17 an hour.
Oh, hold on. Minimum wage going to what?
17, and then 17. The government minimum wage is $17.50. It's $35,000 employee. Even in the history of the Virgin Islands, the WAPA bill has never stayed the same for 8 years, ever. Okay? St. Croix got a direct flight from Chicago, 250,000 cruise ship passengers, and come October, November, we have a direct flight in the first in over 34 years to the East Coast of the United States.
To New Jersey.
Right.
Let me tell you that Chicago flight, I won the first flight. You know.
You were?
I won the first flight coming from Chicago to St. Croix. I couldn't believe when I see it pop up. I got Alaska, Anchorage to Chicago, Chicago to St. Croix. I flew the first flight coming and that, and I was so happy to reach home, saw all it.
Yep.
You know, so I could tell you as a testament to me. And I understand because I tell Kevin, I tell everybody. And people will get upset with me because they always feel like I favorite in the administration because I happen to be able to talk to you guys when I need to talk to you guys. And that's not the case. I see a lot of progress. I in Frederickstead just the other day, I can't even pass on the back street in the night and take a little look because, you know, the road going on, right? So I appreciate that, right? I appreciate to see that stuff is going on.
Look at the pool.
The pool is beautiful. Like I passed it the other day and watched the children them having summer camp. And then they get a little roll-up window where they could actually stand up in the line and get a lunch and them kind of things. Like, I'd be around. But now, remember now, Gov, unfortunately, I'd be in and out of the territory a lot. Not as much as Wheels Up.
So you could see it.
Yes, but I could see it because I'd leave and come a lot of the times. And every time I reach, something going on that I'd be like, man, that's pretty cool to see happening. You know what I'm saying? But what we're talking about was, when we look at the younger generation like me, Ayende, you know what I'm saying, my team, we want to be directly involved in the betterment of the Virgin Islands. Unfortunately, we don't know how you to get in. Right? We work in doing business. I want to thank Kevin again for giving me the opportunity when we were having the outages and WAPA for me to be able to actually use what I do to talk to the team and help us to be able to say, hey, we get alternatives out there.
Let me give Kevin some blows now. One of the ideas
Kevin, I ain't planned that
we've been working on for a while is we building a platform so that all the board vacancies listed on the internet, so you can apply for a board like how you apply for a job. Okay. So because we can't find people for these boards, if we don't know them, if somebody don't say something or somebody don't write us, we don't know if they could be on. And let me tell you, there's hundreds of board slots. So we almost up, right? We got done. If you laughing.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah. We gotta finish it.
It will keep you up. Okay.
So you could just send in your resume.
Yes.
And then on the board. I mean, the other thing too, I think it needs to get important in Bob. I was listening to the senatorial forum the other day, and people just don't know what's going on. And you know, I talk to people all the time. People talk about stuff that already happened long time ago. And I mean, like, one of the things I could point to, like, the police have so much more equipment now. They have underwater drones, out-sea drones, air drones. They have boats. I remember a time they didn't have any boats. DPNR, new boats, fire boats. They have so much more equipment.
This under your administration, you telling me?
We buy so much new instruments for the school. They got instrument brand new in storage. You know, I listen to St. Croix or the MOUND, but then they don't acknowledge, like, the first school in the Virgin Islands is in St. Croix.
But if you let them talk about it, they say no school ain't get built yet. I want to know if nobody don't drive back by Paradise.
But people don't drive. The whole of the scenic drive through the rainforest under construction right now, but you can see that we did the whole highway. People don't even realize that the shipping moved from Gallows Bay to Container Port.
Yes, it is.
So remember all here used to flood by the
yes.
by the time we fixed all of this, go straight down. We paved the road from Buccaneer almost all the way to Kramer's Park, to make sure. When you talk about neighborhoods getting paved, people call me and say, Governor, our neighborhood ain't paved in 30, 40 years. And you could go and name in the amount of roads. The other day we were talking about to Public Works, because when I ride my bike west, you pass Frontline, you know, you got a road there.
With the pothole.
I say, yeah, man, we got to fix that. He said, fix that, or basic. Fix that, Governor, that fix. The road fixed. That man done paved that thing long time. All the Grangewood Road never paved. Campo Rico paved. Wim. The whole of Wim we paving.
I know, right? That Wim, man.
I mean, it's
like...
Hannah's Rest, my daughter just been here. It was you were walking in to do your Christmas ad, and I was on the station in the afternoon, and my daughter was here with me, and you come in and chop it up with me, and I tell you about it. You know, the road in Wim get paved to my mother, and they come at the deal and give me a nice little hump to drive in. And then she said, when you going to come and pave Hannah's Rest? So when she been here, I said, when the last time you see the governor? She said, a few years ago. I said, when you asked him if he going to pave Hannah's Rest for me, and the place get paved. So I could be a testament to say that, not even say because you know me, and it's okay.
But I'm telling you, it's just I'm so shocked. I'm so busy. There's so many things going on. The whole of the St. Croix departure long, we redo that.
Yes.
It was so good. Even Claude Bailey compliment me. I had to use it. Claude Bailey.
We used it in a campaign.
He said the brand administration, you got to get them credit. You know, they're doing the thing. The whole new road we got going over to Lorraine. You know, the park in Frederickstead.
Yeah,
put in a bunch of new playgrounds for the children to play and stuff. Like I say, I mean, I take people from east to west talking about all the different things. We paved the whole of town. Remember the brown water in town? We redo all the underground water.
Yes.
The Frederickstead, from Kings Hill all the way down now to Spicy Grill, all of that underground power.
You can't Flaming Grill now. You can't Flaming Grill. Yeah, you got to pull up in there. If you like a good salmon burger, pull up to Flaming Grill.
I hate salmon burger.
No, it ain't a salmon burger, it's a salmon fillet.
Oh, yeah,
so you're not a salmon guy?
No, because black people only know about one kind of fish is salmon. Like,
is it catfish? You right to know.
No, the fancy restaurant will be like, really, I'll have a salmon.
Yeah.
I'll have a salmon.
Unfortunately, I just had to have a salmon today. Yeah. But, you know, the reason why I wanted to kind of speak about the accomplishments at the administration is because I do feel that we negated by, blinded by, you know, what has actually happened.
Right.
Because nobody seems to remember where we've been.
No.
Right?
They don't.
And it's very unfortunate, right? But, you know, when I drive through the town and the towns, you know, the nightlife, you can't bring that back.
Yeah.
Right? That's not something that's going to be a government-driven initiative. Right? So when they hear ain't got nothing to do on the island, you know, the place ain't got nothing going on. We talked about this together when I had Kevin and Richard here, how when we see all the negativity that goes out, and a lot of it that comes in from people who don't even live here anymore, you know, it kind of kills the brand of the Virgin Islands.
We our own worst enemy. I mean, we beat ourselves up and don't realize how much of a struggle it is to maintain a place where this has a poverty rate of about 30-35% because of the inflation that we see every day. You know, I was telling somebody this today, is like, you can't judge living in the Virgin Islands with a Miami measuring stick.
You can't.
It's a different lifestyle. So people save their whole life to come down here to enjoy our lifestyle for a week, a day.
4 days.
And they are appreciating something different than what we appreciate. Not to say that we don't have our problems, right? But this is a special community. People that save their whole life, work their whole life to buy a house and retire in St. Croix.
Yes.
And you know, I born in St. Thomas, live in St. Croix most of my life, and now I spend a lot of time, I essentially live in St. Thomas, and I try to notice the differences between the both islands, and it's not a critique, but if we want St. Croix to be live, don't complain about St. Croix from Facebook, from your house. Complain from it from on the boardwalk in a restaurant, or playing pool by Sharkies,
or by Levels.
You go home, complaining ain't got nothing going on. So in St. Thomas, then people don't go home. They hours in the street every night of the week, and that's what they keep. Yes, they get a lot of tourists, but that's what they keep the economy going. And
I said that because, you know, I'm going straight and I'm come right back, because we got epidemic happening here, you know. Anything that you're going to wrong, you know, in St. Croix is FREE. And that don't motivate you to get no money. You know, when you used to have to put on your clothes and get ready and say Friday coming.
No, don't start there. You have to go to the store.
Okay.
Remember back in the day with the jean shop?
Yes.
You're going to buy an outfit for tonight. That's the first part.
Caribbean and Urban Trends come after. We used to go and we used to buy clothes and go to the barber. You want to catch the Lani over there by Salvador. You know what I'm saying? To make sure you get a proper fade up. All of that gone now. We just holler and everybody when you go to these parties, the ashy and the heel. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? It's like it just don't get no motivation.
I was in the States for Father's Day, and we went to this club up there in Atlanta, and I was just like, me, you know your boy.
See me, I know you're
sharp.
You're sharp now.
I was like, what is happening?
See, like, that's what you got to come look for me. I gonna drip you out. You know what I'm saying? I gonna drip you out, Bob. I'll drip you out.
Hey, let me tell you this. I ain't gonna lie now. My father was a sharp boy, okay?
Yes.
I on my pajamas, because I don't like to be in bed really.
If the wrinkles come, then you know, I say, no,
yeah. Wrinkle-free pajamas for your boy, okay? Okay, I got another meme.
but you know, again, right? I don't know if you don't really, you got so much you got to manage, and one thing again, I'm gonna keep referring back to the first interview when we start this show, because this is the last one, you know, okay, out Sunday.
Okay.
It was a simple thing as where Kevin said, he's the man who get hot up, Richard, don't keep you out there. He said, basically, everybody talking, but nobody don't know what it takes to be the governor.
That's true.
And I left out of here and I started to think about how many things you really have to manage and govern. And you spoke about the 35% poverty rate here within the territory. And when I was having dinner down in Frederiksted on the waterfront, you know, part of the conversation came around again about the schools, right? Everybody quick to talk about how terrible the schools are. And I said, if you look, and everybody don't want to go to Orlando and stuff like that, but when you go to Pine Hills, how much are we really want to send our children them to Evans High School? You want your child going to the high school that said Windermere High, right? But when you look at Windermere High, the property taxes and the taxes that come from that particular area is, the houses are valued so much that they were able to drive the schools. what you think about and how do we communicate to the community that this is how governance work? They always talk about federal money, but federal money is really kind of like welfare.
But you know, the education budget, you know, the last time I looked at it, it was probably like 230 million, right? But only 40 million is federal funds, something around that. Don't
Wait. Go back again to the number.
There's only 40 million or so is federal funds. The most of it is local funds. And you make a great point, but Virgin Islanders will never understand that. The schools we build in, your children, 90% of the children in the Virgin Islands would never get the opportunity to go to a school that good because the people couldn't afford to live in the district with a school that good.
Exactly.
So you make a good point, but the other thing is I keep telling people, for how much taxes we pay, and you realize in the states they pay the federal tax and the state tax. We have 0 state taxes for individuals in the Virgin Islands.
No tolls.
No tolls, you know, and so you kind of get what you pay for in a lot of respects, but the schools coming along and what is, I listen to people, you know, 90% of these people never been in a school. When the media go there, the media gonna go to the worst part of the school. Of course, all our schools have problems, every last one. But the grades going up, the graduation rates going up, after school placement rates going up, you know, so those are good things. Salaries are going up, so households are getting more secure. Those are good things, regardless of how the school look. We had a class the other day graduate, and 50% of the class was on the honor roll. 50% of the
public school you're talking about?
Public school. And if you go to Complex in St. Croix, right? When you go to graduation, you could see Mr. this child, Mrs. that child in public school graduating from Complex. They have a reputation with their magnet program. Credit to Claude VLA who started it way back in the day. But people take the child out of private school and put them there. One last story.
Go ahead.
My neighbor, after the storm, moved down here, loved the Virgin Islands, you know. And after the storm, he had to leave because he didn't have internet, and he basically runs websites and things like that, so he had to move. So he went to Philadelphia, and he called me. He said, Albert, I don't think I'm coming back, man. I said, why? He said, man, you know, I was paying for 3 of my kids to go to country day school. He said, I put them in school up here, right? And the school up here has an equal or better curriculum.
Yes.
He says, and with the 3 tuitions that we're paying, he says, I bought a house and I'm still saving money. So when you compare, you know, us to them, it's a different thing, but their land tax is like through the roof.
Yes.
And so if we were, I listen to people when they talk about districting and magnet schools. So schools, if we were to do it by district, the schools that excel would still excel. Paul B, Ricardo Richards, Lou Muckle. Schools surrounded by middle class to upper class communities would get the most money because that's the places where the most land tax is going to be paid. And even without that, those are the highest schools, performance schools in the Virgin Islands, in St. Croix. And Ricardo Richards is a blue ribbon school, presidential blue ribbon school. The least performance schools are the communities and where there's the most poverty. And I'm not going to call them out, but
it happens everywhere. That's how it is.
Everywhere.
That's
everywhere.
But again, you know, we now gonna go back because I know we didn't get a month of time I wanted to be able to chat and rap with you. So now we gonna move a little quicker. You had a meeting and you called the legislature into session last night. I was waiting for Novell and Roche to come in because I got it wrong. I watching everybody, right? I need to see what everybody got to say.
Absolutely.
And you know, I read the release that came out as far as I was talking about how to be paying these long-term debts off. Again, when Richard and Kevin was here, they said it so eloquently that everybody I went to finally started to understand about the legacy debt that were on the books. not only for WAPA, but it's on the books for the everything.
No, because I heard one of the candidates were explaining the other day why the tax returns ain't up to date. Is because we only get money twice a year, in April and in October, and the governor won't tell either because we only get money twice a year. We can only pay twice a year, and I was like, that's not why the tax return. The Brian Roach administration has paid out over $500 million in tax return, the most in any 8 years of the government history, right? But we started with $200 million in the hole.
That's a lot.
So we only give out about $40 million a year. 4 8 is 32. So really, we give out almost $180 million more, $320 million, $40 million every year. Time 8, $320 million. But we pay over $500 million because we paying for the back. If we had started on zero, we'd be paying your tax before you get it, right? I mean, if the Brian Roach administration, this is the first administration that have a zero bill to WAPA. Try to understand. People don't remember when you used to say, oh, our light bill high because the government owe WAPA $60 million.
I remember they used to say that all the time.
Remember they used to say?
Yeah, Liak.
WAPA owe us money. Okay. WAPA owe the Virgin Islands government like $12 million. We paying their bill and over. When you hear that woman down there talking about, oh, we owe for street light or we owe for this. They owe us money. We don't owe them any money, okay? And the hours where they hand out, sorry, Carl.
Yeah.
But the hours where they hand out.
Well, as you go to WAPA, right? Again, that was another conversation. I wanted to go to the hospital, but since you bring WAPA, and we know WAPA is a hot topic right now, right? Again, thank you for letting me be able to see and being able to at least offer some solutions to the team as it pertains to, continuing the work that's already being done. You guys are already on the path to solving the WAPA issue.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't understand, and I will tell them, and I've been telling them here on this station for my time, one of those generators generally takes between 12 to 18 months to put together.
Absolutely.
Right?
Delivery time, that's how much it'll tell you if you buy out of something.
Yes, because you're going to take 26 weeks to get a turbocharger if you need to buy one. Because I have to do these same things on my job. And unfortunately, WAPA might make $200 million for the year, and we're talking about $1 billion company that I don't work for, right? How you feel right now as far as what's going on in St. Thomas? We heard about the extra generators that were brought in by RG, right? Plus you gotta be able to get backup generators in order to take down the generators in order to be able to do the work that's needed in order to get the new generators online, right? A lot of these things take months and time. Within your 8 years, you walked into an agreement already being made with the Wärtsilä company. Am I correct or am I incorrect?
That's correct.
Okay. Wärtsilä's are the best engines them in the world. I only know them to run on the diesel. Right? We end up with propane generators. Sourcing, we haven't been able to see any other place in this hemisphere that has these particular units yet. Because I still got people looking because, again, it's one team, it's one Virgin
Islands. I don't think
Islands.
there are. I don't think these were specially made for the Virgin Islands because we need to burn propane,
Okay, so you still on the propane?
Well,
these are dual fuel.
Yeah, I know they do a fuel, but like you said, they're generally made to run off a diesel.
Yes, high efficiency diesel generators.
The other thing that I think when you live long enough in the Virgin Islands, you can remember when we had all these big generators with spinning resolve, and WAPA was saying we gotta run two 25 megawatt generators, even though we need 30 megawatts.
Yes,
so
yes.
we gotta keep this one spinning in case.
Yes.
So all the money we were spending. So the strategy back then, and that's what happens is because I served in the John DeYoung administration, right? And Carl did too. We know what the trajectory was back then. It took the Virgin Islands until, well, essentially 2024 or 25 when these generators came on to get from a point where they could have these smaller generators so they could take load off and on without burning all of these generators out.
That's how we do it. When we got all these engines, but it's all small engines, so then you could be able to take off one, or you get two off and you put on the next one on, so then you could take down one to do the maintenance.
The problem is though, it took so long between the hurricanes and the COVID that the new Wattsillers is 6 years old already. So now those generators need to be repaired. And then the old generators that they were hoping to get a Wattsiller generators up so they could repair the old one, they've been running all the time.
Correct.
So now Coco Bip and Tapa Yards, the whole thing gone flat out. That's actually what I mean, like.
But it's the truth.
No, that's what happened.
It's the truth. And I was just talking before y'all came in. I tell you, I've been going to everybody, and I see somebody show us a light bill from 1974 in one of the things, right? From 1974, the show the light bill was $49. We are in 2026. In 1974, I could have buy the baddest car off of the lot for $3,000. You know?
Yeah, you go back to 1970. Mommy Jew house was selling for $20,000.
Yeah. So if you want to put the inflation in that 1974 light bill that you try to show at $49, with the generation units being new and top of the line back then, these are the same units that we running right now.
Hey, Scabby, I feel like my grandmother. You know, when I talk about prices, I feel like my grandmother said, boy, when I was a child, you buy a bread for a penny. I tell you, make memes about me because I remember buying $1.35 low pack rice, low pack for about $10. Man eating all kind of no name butter. When you, and I like to cook, I like go out all the time, and people on that. Let me tell you something. If you live in St. Thomas, if you're from St. Croix, I used to think St. Thomas used to ball unnecessarily. But over there at St. John, expensive.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people were close to $9. It was close to $9, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
St. John ridiculous.
I couldn't believe it the other day. I was used chicken when I go to the States. Even in the senator that I use my chicken example. The people to Kentucky in Soniel or shop because me and Rosie when we here on the weekend we'd just drive around, we'd go take the car, run away and drive around. But we'd always get hungry, so we'd end up in Kentucky, and she has an obsession with hot wing. My boy is $35 for a 20-piece hot wing. Them is drumettes, man. You know what?
$35?
20 is 35? Yes, $35 for 20 for 20 drumettes. Not the whole thing, not the whole chicken. Okay? But when you're on the road and the tasting good, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, all of these things are a Happy Meal now from one of them places like $13, $14.
You remember the snack box?
Yeah. Yeah, not the snacking, but the boxes.
No. So, you know, again, that'll be a lot of the misinformation that'll be projected out here. And me personally, I hear you talk about a lot of it. This show you is real talk, right? I ain't gonna know nothing like everybody else. Thank God. Unfortunately, you don't write my check for me, but you know what I'm saying. As far as we go, we're gonna touch on the repair strategy again. Kevin and Richard talked about it as far as where RG Electrical had the contract to repair the power plants and bring them up to compliance.
Construct the power plants.
Right? And again, it's a thing that I think now Richard is my boy and I, but we gotta figure out how we could be able to start to get the word out to the people them a little more.
Well, you know, I really think people don't really care. You know, I used to work for the phone company, right? And, you know, I remember my boss saying...
By telco?
Yeah. People don't really care. They just want the phone to be on and working. They don't care why it ain't working. You think the reason they must care why it whopper off? They just know it off and they want it on. So it's good to tell people, and unfortunately for WAPA, they've had so many false starts. After this, we're going to get it. After this, we're going to get it. After this, we're going to get it. But once again, I am warning people, you know, people don't realize in our administration, we actually pay GRS the money. We don't hold it. Remember the other administrations that were holding it?
Yeah,
we actually pay the tax returns every year. We don't hold it. We actually give people raises. Every raise we have granted, and in a matter soul could tell you, we grant a pay raise and we didn't honor it. We pay it and we paid the retro. Right now, we're in the process of paying AFT. They only know post process, but you should start seeing it in your check. We actually pay WAPA. We don't have a running bill to WAPA. So if we did what other administrations were doing, that do. The hospital ain't pay their light bill. You know, waste management ain't pay their light bill. We didn't pay GRS. And they didn't do it purposely. They had no choice. We actually paying all of those things. At the same time, still paying the people and still giving raises. Like, you know.
You're governing.
I'm governing.
Yeah.
We have been really blessed. But when you got to think about it, and I tell people this all the time, and you can appreciate this, Scavi. The Brian Roach administration gave $3 billion to the GRS. That'll only cover government employees. That's $3 billion with a B. That's not going to pave any road, it's not going to fix any school, it's not going to buy down any light bill, it's not going to fix the airport, it's not going to advertise for tourism, just for the public sector employees. The government of the Virginia, the Brian Roach administration, the health insurance gone up through the roof. We take the blow. We pay the health insurance and did not pass it on to the employees. But guess what? We have 70% of the Virgin Islands that work for the private sector that don't get no health insurance.
That's where we wanted to go.
That's where we wanted to go. And still, government employees still got. You know how much sick leave hours I got, Scavi? I shame to say. 1,320 sick leave hours. That's 6 months. There's no way the private sector should be allowing government employees to accumulate that. So the other reason for it is, right? If you working for the government, is no place in the world. We got people been sick in the government for years and a donated leave.
Yeah, people go actually donate the leave to them to make sure they keep getting paid.
So, beautiful thing, right? But when a person on donated leave, you standing in the food stamp line or the line to DPNR as a private citizen, we get a person home. And we can't hire nobody because they get a salary. And then you say...
That's a vacant, that ain't a vacancy.
So, and we paying her.
Yes.
We're in the world, and this is why I tell people how good our place is. We're in the world, you could retire at 45 years old, hustler start there, right? And get your health insurance covered until you make 65 and the government continue to pay their share? Where?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
It does. We live in a society, but remember, none of the private sector employees ain't getting that.
Definitely.
They're not getting that. We have 30 paid holidays, okay? And all kind of grace periods. The lowest employee of the government costs us $55,000 a year.
And a lot of people don't understand that. But I want to go back to the 70% of the people working in the private sector not having insurance. And I know we crunch for time. And that brings us back to the hospital and the uncompensated care.
Yeah.
Again, everybody here, and people won't get vexed with me, I always say, trace off back, I say, man, it's fast pitch. Yeah.
It's just facts.
Yeah, but
facts.
What I'm saying as far as with the insurance, and I wanted to say, because I want to believe about 70% of the people that use our public hospitals do not have private insurance. Most of them will be covered by Medicare or Medicaid. And when we think about public hospitals within the United States mainland, those are the hospitals that the people them again don't want to end up going to who live in these cities, right? So the private hospital, we don't get fooled because we go and carry our parents, or we go to Cleveland. Let me say parents, I could go there now. I don't go Cleveland Clinic, right? And we see how this facility is set up on the private side.
Right.
But a lot of them don't ever go over to the emergency and the hospital side to see that it's exactly the same as what happening here in Wang Louis, or I'm sure pretty much in Royal. That's neither.
But our comparably, our waiting time shot to the States. They got a store, they got this thing on the on TV named The Pit. It's a documentary. It's like a series.
It's a series.
The Pit, The Pit.
Not polygamous.
No, not
me like that. Me like that one. That's a stupid show.
I love that, my son.
Okay.
21.
Hey, guys, skip. Back to the Pit.
So, if you watch The Pit, look for it. I think at HBO Cinemax or one of them, right? Everything went wrong with our hospital, they show in the first hour of the show.
I see that.
Every single thing. And it's because healthcare broken across America. But here's the thing now, people, right? I want snowballing. I could say it. as bad as they say, the hospital don't have any money, right? And this is why our people, they like to be lion, but they don't like to do lion stuff. The hospital only have 45 beds, but they got as much employees as they had when they had 135 beds. How?
Why?
How? And when people call me and they say we don't have this and we don't have in the hospital, how is it possible to make payroll every 2 weeks and not have sheets? Something had to give. Let me tell you something.
Wait, man, you drop embarrassing, you know, that JC would have thief that one there. How you expect to make payroll every 2 weeks and you don't have sheets?
Yeah. You know Tess Richards, Dr. Tess Richards, that lady there, I just tried to convince her to run for governor. She runs the Eastern Health Center in St. Thomas, right? Mm-hmm. She come to me, she says, Governor, during the shutdown, she said, I cut all my staff hours. Mm-hmm. I reduced my staff from 135 people to 45, 48 people now. She said, but I shan't now. I don't do everything I can. I need to get the money that the legislature appropriate me for from the FCE money. I said, girl, I got you. You know why? Because you're doing the work.
You're doing the work.
It's like
you're managing.
It's tough decisions to make. But one thing in this administration, and for WAPA, it's been a long time. This is the first administration that have put the people over the employees at WAPA. And I say that because before the things that we're doing, like putting in the solar and doing other things, no governor would governors were like, okay, we got to make sure WAPA employees are right, because that's a voting base too. I told Carl and I told every single WAPA director, WAPA is going to be a renewable company. We're going to get these solar farms. And we are almost there. St. Croix Street in terms of the solar now.
30 extra heads, right?
Yeah. And we need to get it. We need to get the batteries in. St. Thomas, we started on the 2 solar, and they're coming along. We get some little money problems, but we're gonna see our way through. There's another one in St. John. They're gonna run the entire St. John. St. John gonna come completely off fuel. It's just gonna be all grid. That's what we're working on. So it's like my time running out, and this is why telling you people. This is why my message is to you. Don't let these gubernatorial candidates give no softball questions. Ask them some real questions. How do you feel that gubernatorial candidates that have already expressed in the past that they're against the refinery opening?
Yeah.
Make them fess up to what they say. How do you feel about the refinery? How do you feel about the redevelopment of Martin Marietta? Because we're doing that now. How you feel?
What do you mean? You're doing it now, but
come in.
Everybody and your team still working like about to be another 17 years.
But you know what it is? I thought that last year we would have been cruising, but what happened now is like, wow, we got to get all these things done before we go.
Okay.
Ask them how they feel about the 3P partnership to develop the both airports. Ask them how they feel about the merger of the hospital now with one CEO. Ask them if they believe that the USVI rebuild was a right approach to rebuilding the Virgin Islands, and are they going to continue with that?
Okay. And
if they say they're not, ask them, well, what do they propose? Ask them, what are they going to do about the Medicaid cap? The Virgin Islands and the Territory is the only place for limited on Medicaid and have a Medicaid cap. Ask them what they're going to do.
That's a Washington issue, right?
Yeah, we've been working on these. Ask them why. Ask the delegate why we don't have SSI in the Virgin Islands. Why?
SSI, Social Security Insurance, that's what you're talking about?
Right, we don't get that.
What do you mean?
If you in the States, right, and you to get a check because you're disabled from SSI, if you move to the Virgin Islands, they discontinue it. Ask them why. Ask them what they're going to do about inflation in the Virgin Islands. Ask them what are the new solutions to WAPA. You don't hear everything we're doing for WAPA already.
Everything sounds like why you don't hear already?
So, ask them what are their new. I listened to the senators the other day. I was so disappointed. The candidates and they asked them what's their new. Besides tourism, what other economic development ideas they have. They don't have any. Don't let them regurgitate the things people been telling you about transshipment point.
Yeah.
Them things ain't gonna work.
Listen, I mean like the name neither, because that's the only thing I know what transatlantic was the slave trade. So I think you need to rebrand that one there. Either way, but I know I have my time shot. No. I get into an issue that kind of hot right now. And when you've been here and we had a chop it up in January or December, I rolled in the morning, you already here or whatever, we are talking about the gun rates.
Oh, yeah.
right? And you just sign a bill, I lose 500.
You said I was gonna veto it?
Yeah, I said my boy gonna veto this.
Because this is one thing I learned with the Senate, Kevin.
Paper, like I'll show you the paper.
Kevin used to be my head of policy in Generation Now.
Yes.
And he used to organize a report card, right? So me and Kevin probably got over at least 900 pieces of legislation, read them, rack them and everything. 90% of legislation ain't more than 3 pages. So when people argue with me, the first thing I ask them, did you read it? And then they'll say, no, then I don't have to argue no more.
Okay.
But when you have a large piece of legislation, the chances of it passing are slim to none. We've been trying to pass the Delaware Business Corporation laws for 20 years. But the thing is like 100, 200 pages.
That's the same thing that Delaware to use for like,
Yes.
it's kind of like our EDC type of thing, right?
Right, so we can attract more companies,
Yes.
can't get it passed. The reason why I passed this is because we've been working on this for 6.5 years to get a legislature to pass a gun bill that makes sense.
Okay.
This is the only way we could get. Now we could go back. Yeah, thanks Clifford. I mean, he did an excellent job. And I know some people don't agree with him, but now we have something, right? You only get 3 things people arguing about, right?
I know, yeah.
Size of the magazine.
Yes.
Silencers. And I think that's it. What's it?
The assault rifle?
No, there's nothing in the bill about no assault
Exactly,
rifle.
because they talk about going to a class to get a training in order to be able to get.
You could have one at home. The rifle you have.
You just can't carry
It doesn't ban it.
You just can't carry it
Unless we're going to the range.
openly.
Yes.
Yeah, in the public.
Home or the range.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of misinformation about that. You know, I spoke to some people and I have to agree. Whatever the manufacturer sells the original firearm with, that should be the maximum magazines that you could use. Up to 17, I think that's the biggest magazine.
For a handgun.
You know, for a handgun.
Okay.
But why? Scabby, you gotta tell me why. Why you need a silencer in the board tonight?
We good with the silencer part. We good with the silence. The suppression part, I don't think I haven't heard anybody talking about that. But at first it was all about the rifle. But for me, what really get me is when I see the bill say it's illegal to sell ammunition and guns in the territory. I was like, I swear this done been a thing already.
No, you just gotta register, you know, to sell.
But it's okay if it's illegal because you ain't supposed to sell illegal gun and illegal bullets.
Absolutely.
So when I see it and I like, this man can't really put this here in a bill, like for real? Duh. That's what I say.
But you know what happened though? And this is what always happen. That's why they say, so much people want to get a hand in that soup. Adding salt, adding a adding carrot, adding potato.
Okay.
So you getting through, right?
Yes.
Now we only got 3 things to change. Before we had 100 things to change.
That's
now,
good though. That's
there's
good.
only 3 things.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
So if I give it back to them, we ain't gonna never get anything.
No. I understand where you're coming from. I like how you're holding that keychain, you know. Please go with it.
I like it.
Because July 18th, we gonna wear backpacks, you know.
Oh, beautiful.
I mean, and ain't like she gonna wear like 20 backpacks. She bought over 1,000 backpacks, right? She did it already. She said she sent something out to you, you know.
I didn't see it.
They had one last year.
Huh?
I done spot last year, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be in Baron Spot this year again by in this store. And before I go, you know we get like a juice.
What kind of juice?
They call
Amber juice?
No. See, that's what we call a variety store. We cover everybody. We have a juice called True Juice, right? It's 100% juice. It's a really good juice.
Did I make it tell the truth?
True juice, not true juice.
Stay away from that.
You telling me? You think I don't think you don't get rid of that already?
Everybody coming in here to this debate today, go to drink some of this juice. Drink the juice.
But what we're saying is, right, like I was telling you earlier, we want to be involved in the process. Me particularly, for some reason, I end up now as the lead has out of our group into the political arena, right? But like we wanted to get this in the hospital. We want to try and get these things in the school because we know what these is. Like we need to figure out how we could be able to tie him because he's a distributor, you know. He just like Bellows and all the rest of them. Now that they bring in Hunter Foods and all of them, is Gomez distribution.
So like getting into the schools, you know, one of the things that you're in business, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to shade on this
No,
business in
man,
particular. You can't go to these trade shows. Like, people go to sea trade, you speak to these people on the cruise lines,
Yes.
and talk to see, they got product representatives,
Yes.
they get your show on there. You got things, that's what the other thing is, knowing who's who. Sometimes it ain't about who you campaign for, no, it's about just about knowing these people. So
Correct.
when we have these things happening, you know who is the commissioner of education, you know who runs school lunch. And a lot of times you'll be like, oh, man, she is Reggie's sister, man. I know she.
That's what they use me for.
Yeah. So you know how people
Yeah.
will be like, you know him, man. Nah, I don't know that man. You know him, man. Then they'll say so. Reggie, you know him, man.
Yeah, man.
The
The tall dude, man. The tall dude. I could never shoot the ball straight. And then the next thing too, before y'all go, make sure, I've been reaching out to Carl because we do have good information that came from our meeting on Thursday, and I want to share it with the people at the territory. We were able to give WAPA some information about municipalities similar to ours that have the Watsilas, and they actually have a whole convention.
Wow.
That happens. It's happening in October. Right?
That's good stuff.
Right? And they give me the information, so I trying to get back to Carl now, so I could deal with however we need to go to make sure we register, so we could get a delegation to go. I gonna leave from Alaska myself, right? I ain't flying on the Virgin Island budget. I gonna use my emails and that one there, and I gonna go to New Orleans so I could be able to be with the team. So we could be able to start to see people who making governors, people who making turbochargers, people who making transmitters. I got a whole thing, and unfortunately for Watsila, they have to hold that information so they can make the most money. That's just how business runs. But it's Watsila is the one that put in on the whole convention.
Oh wow, it's Watsila itself.
Yes.
But it's good to make them contacts because you find people who help you get stuff when you need it, you swap out, you make that. That's good stuff, man. That's, I was talking to an attorney yesterday and he was like, man, I'm so impressed with what y'all do here. I feel bad because I've been in the States. I said, but look, you here contributing now, you involved in stuff. You help us get a GRS done. You in another place, but you still contributing. So you don't have to be here walking.
It's duty.
It's just, I mean, and because we know, it's just like when people move from the Eastern Caribbean back in the 70s, and so they send money back home.
Barrel.
Money back
Barrel.
Barrel. You know barrel.
What do you mean? Because the barrel, them using the same thing that coming from humans. So they say I'm full in, but either way. Alright, so now, okay. You remember me and you talk about that, When you say it was people over policy? What was that? The thing is people over policy?
Yeah.
Because I personally would have never built Bali Joseph, but you end up continuing the project.
People them want.
And then again, these two brothers here came on the first day and they just laid it all out. Yeah. So what's going on with the hash race? That was the last thing that I think probably the first thing y'all talk about over there.
So we met with the senators on Thursday and they didn't really have any big things. The one big thing that they keep hammering is the exclusivity of Southern and St. Thomas, but they already have exclusivity. Yeah. It's not like it's an extra 7 years. Like, this is right.
Extra 7 to get a track and sink, right?
Yeah.
Like, really?
It's like we have to admit to ourselves.
I suck my teeth, not album. It's me, it's Gavin. It's me.
We have to decide and make up our mind that the strategy to use casinos to build hotels has failed thoroughly. Not a little bit, thoroughly. Because it's been almost 30 years now.
Yes.
And we ain't really built no hotel. We built an addition to a hotel.
Correct.
But we ain't really built any hotels in St. Croix. The strategy that we have right now is the Hotel Development Act, which has already built one hotel, and we own 2 hotels that have benefited from it. That's the Frenchman's Reef and the Morning Star. We put up the money to help repair those hotels under the Hotel Development Act, and now, in 30 years, those will be reported right back to the government of the Virgin Islands as the owners.
No, you gonna own Frenchman's Reef?
Yeah, my boy. Y'all sleeping like walking.
The people that
No.
I mean, the other thing that we did, for public employees again is, I got with Senator Avery Lewis, who are in St. Thomas. I tell him, take the ownership of the hotels, because Morning Star and Frenchman's Reef, and give it to the GRS. So those things are reverted back to the GRS, and if they sell anytime, all the money goes to the GRS. So, you know, we have to start thinking about, we got all this gambling money, they're not bringing in anybody to gamble. So why not use, and then you know, listen to people say, oh, you're going to take jobs or whatever. No matter what happens, they're going to have a casino. Because if it ain't open by Southland, either Caravel or DV is going to open a casino. So don't bring that argument, because there's going to be a casino.
But that's the only thing that keeping horse racing alive in America right now.
The only way.
I don't know what they think, because Kentucky Derby is one race a year, but I'm sure if we drive right now and go to the Louisville track, you ain't got no heap of people there, and if you go to the casino, you're full.
You're not going to fire, you go right San Juan, not a man on the track, I went over it, empty. So
not a man on the track.
Not a man. So we go this fell out there with the casino. It didn't work to bring hotels. The next thing is, if you really look at the, people say, oh, it's a gateway for VLT and St. Croix. The Senate controller ain't got no gateway. If you look at the deal, the man building one casino in St. Croix, he building two in St. Thomas. Do the math. So where he trying to make his money? He's not trying to get into St. Croix. He is trying to get into keep his thing in St. Thomas. So he building out two new game complexes in St. Thomas to take advantage of the tourists. And just the casino in St. Croix. And it's the money from St. Thomas that are going to be used to back the casino in St. Croix and the repairs that he get to make. He get to spend some $1 together. The track in St. Croix is bigger than the track in St. Thomas. By far. Okay? The stand's going to be bigger. The box is going to be bigger. Let me tell you, the 5th of July, come St. Thomas and see horse race, eh? I had to watch horse race in an air-conditioned box, my boy. Watching the whole horse race.
And we all could do that if we choose to pay to get access. So I don't want it to make it feel like...
you don't only have to build it.
But the funny thing about it is I either go in the VIP section and go smoke my cigar. I don't stay up there anyhow. But it's still nice to have, right?
Listen, now, one question Lima asked me. Who we need to make sure get the information so y'all can help us with the backpacks?
What you need?
She need a check.
For how much?
Whatever you give, she gonna take.
No, what?
If you give 500, we're gonna take it. If you give 100, we're gonna take it.
She sent a letter?
She sent a letter, man, and
okay, behind them,
is 10 is over, and she doing free, popcorn free, juice free, face painting free. So she paying all these people to make an event in Barron Spot.
Oh, we got something on the deal. I'm gonna look for it on the email. Shanice, if you're listening, go look for that email for me.
Thank you.
Before I go, I want to say one thing.
It's your time, you know.
We got to spread love, right? When you see, let me show you how we hate one another, right?
Preach.
There was an issue in the legislature where, I ain't gonna call his name, called me a
the hater. I mean, sorry. You call it name before I call it.
Get down and Calypso Inc. because they get 207.
Hey, listen, now, man.
Listen.
Break it down.
Darby, who that trains these children in Calypso.
Year round.
Every year.
Is
the only person keeping Calypso alive in the Virgin Islands.
Okay, so.
And got them children singing, got them performing. I went to visit with them in summer camp. It's year round, you doing stuff, right?
Correct.
You know, we the hate and who we could see and who we know. Everybody know Hugo. Hugo a whopper. Hugo mash up whopper. But nobody does know Larry Coffer or Andy Smith or anybody else who
you talking about the failed CEO from Hovenza, Larry Coffer?
Yeah.
I was there.
So what I'm showing you now, we give, imagine he get $272,000, right?
Okay.
We give my brother's workshop $5 million. Not a question asked. But because we could see, we gave away so much. We had $560 million.
What about the carnival people?
We gave everybody money. Everybody who come get money. To the point where now they're in trouble because the amount of paperwork you got to do for the accountability is incredible. And they'll be like, I don't know, if you want to ask for money, because we send people to the States, to band camp, and cheering us in John Arts shows. I mean, you name it. We give away so much, and nobody ain't looking at what a generous administration fund all of these things. It's 1,000 children we put to work in the summer, you know. We give people all kind of, subsidies and checks to help keep things going. We give tourism $1 million just to keep entertaining us. You know, after COVID, they weren't making any money, so I tell them, just throw jam to pay people, just so you could, you know, people need to get out again and entertain us. They make no money for 2 years.
Man, I missed out on that.
Yeah, you miss out. So, I mean, when you look, we had so much that we kind of like running out of people to be able to effectuate, because I like Griffith Park, right? I paid for an entire turf park, like I would have been in the States, the turf baseball field. But we got so much construction going on. That's what happened to education too, you know. Education had so much money, but you can't find enough people to work because everybody is in this construction thing, is working ding dong. You see this house, what Adrian building back under this Envision program for people? Way in the world. Today we approved a house yesterday, $456,000.
That's a new
government
house?
pay.
That's a new house?
Yeah, this is people who are living in board house. We put in solid concrete, hurricane-proof house with appliances in them.
I see
Where in the world?
It's only one place in the world, the West Virgin Islands.
We already built 100 homes, and all of these homes average $350,000, $400,000. And it'd be like, okay, what else we could do?
I don't know. I do an extension and double my little place, and that'll cost me $200,000.
Oh my God, the construction is incredible. So we getting there, man. But I just want to give all the people in the Virgin Islands the love. I get enough love over the years. I said I get cussed, my back Brad, but I get a lot of love too, man. You know, when the whole nation couldn't get food stamp, this government cut checks and give everybody. And nobody like to tell people they get food stamp, but a little old man stopped me and they would say, "Oh, thank you for that thing."
Yeah, but you know, you said something, and we're gonna wrap up with it. When you said you were trying to convince the lady for the healthcare in St. Thomas to run for governor.
Yeah.
That within itself let you know that nobody ain't tied to this current administration.
Right.
Gov, thank you for the time.
Hey.
Thank you for the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't know if I'm going to see, hopefully I see you again, because
see me.
I'll be back again in August. I don't mean we got to chop it up here, but you know, Kevin, make sure you let Carl know.
We'll
hit
chop
me
it
up.
up over some water.
And you know we get water, right? You know about the water? You know about the water, man. That's Gomez Distributors again. Hey, man. Thank you, guys.
Right.
We'll be right back.
That was a good show.
What do you think?
He's a man.
I got you, man.
You got me beside me.
I got you.
I was watching the comment when it is.
Yeah, I was watching. I was watching both of them.
Brother, I got Sunday. Thank you.
You need to link with Carl.
Call me so we could get that information, so we could get this thing set up, so I could fill out, so everyone could fill out who going to the thing, and we got to register. And then I'm going to meet them man there, do the formal introduction face to face with Goltons and all of that there. And then while they stick on one, I will be the one now to get it back up when that fails.
All right.
All right.
I'll give it a minute.
Yes, sir. I know. Scabby, you don't be too nice. But listen, man, we gotta give respect and courtesy, you know. People been working and we gotta give them the opportunity to say what they've been doing. Definitely, man, you've been tuned into the ballpark, and we definitely had a great conversation with the current sitting governor. Watch ya! With the rising sun. What you think? 340-715-7948. Pure and good. This is my message to you. Senko USVI. Definitely, man. We just been online. We hear it from the horse's mouth himself. Say! Definitely, man. We got a lot of challenges. But to me, it's refreshing to know ain't no lame duck thing going on, man. They are sprinting to the finish line. That meeting yesterday was to actually try to help whichever administration coming in next to be able to get an easy transition. Let's get all this stuff on the table so they can walk in fresh. But this is what we got to do, man. We can't keep beating on our government officials. We got to pull them up. But we can't keep beating on them. Because obviously you see this the skin tick. I'm going to pay some commercial bills. I'll be right back. I got 2 tickets for Cancer Bash. Who want to go? Talk to me. No issues. Just let it. Give thanks, man. Give thanks, man. Give thanks, man. The man tell me, my son, I love coming up here with you, my son. All right. Correct. Correct. Like you say, it had never passed and we'd have never had a gun law. So now we could do amendments and do what we need to do in order to get it right where it need to be. So, yeah, I plug in the heavy too. True juice. Yeah. And the man say water. I mean, he'll be seeing, he know that the man selling water. Well, yeah, man, we gotta get on, man. Jamaica. Jamaica. Well, whoever gonna be the next commissioner dealing with the food program. But that's what I supposed to do on the land to be plugging in everybody, right? Like I tell the man, like that's what that man to use me for. I the front line. Yeah, he calling me now. I ain't they calling me now. Let me see what he say. I'll call you back. If I could hear me, then I hear me talk. Hey, definitely, man. I want to thank everybody in the territory that for the last 4 weeks gave me their listening ear here on 101.3 Roe FM. Well, I fortunately, I gotta go back to work. I spend all the money I make in 2 months. 2 weeks done in a week. But I will be back, okay? I'll be back after the primary. So hopefully, you got a lot of information from right here, 101.3 Roe FM on the ballpark. But you see the governor just leave. So we're going to put the ballpark under renovation. No, not rebuild like Polly Joseph. We're going to renovate it like BALLPARK. And I'll be back in August. Hey, we got some tickets to give away, but my time is running short. So anybody want lime, you got close to Potana, you want to walk through the door, definitely hit me up. Either that or Chubby got a bunch of tickets to give away. And I want to believe Tarasi coming through on the station. Hey, Macadu, what happening? Hey, to my squad, man, my team. Yo, Bled Wagwan. Hey, look. Yeah, man, they're going to be in Alaska. I think we may end up beating each other, swinging. When they reaching in, you leaving out. Hey, hula! Hey, Mac Daddy Paul Wagwan! Zeno! I'm about to get up out of here. But again, man, don't let nobody come and try and trick you for your voting. Get up out your house. Don't just say, I like this person, I don't like that person. Use me as an example. I went and I gave every candidate my time because the islands depend on me making the right decision. It depends on you making the right decision. And yeah, officially I ain't in politics. I wanted to say, I know if he's in the car. I know if Kevin them in the car. But if you want to get voter registration up, rock with my team, please. Let me show you how we do it. Imagine Lima buying 1,000 backpacks with supplies. We talking ruler, pencil, pens, copybook, loose leaf, protractor. I want to believe for the high school she might get some calculator too. Texas Instruments. But if the businesses and everybody look out for this little circle of people who actually want to give back to the territory, we could do so much more. We could make it 2,000, 1,000 at St. Croix, 1,000 at St. Thomas. July 18, meet we over there by Bar and Spot. Man said, what kind of juice it is? At least you know who need to get a first set of license. Yeah, they need to come our way. Hey man, thank you man. Again, thank you to the Brian and Roach administration for filing in, closing it, starting the ballpark and shutting it down. And just like that, my time is up. St. Croix VI, when I come back, yo! Agana, here, I can hear me if you're there.